Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Tuesday night of stamping. I'm Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my hair is such a mess because I got caught in the rain when we were walking after school tonight. So my hair is all of a sudden I looked and I'm like, oh shoot, I should have blew it dry quick before before it dried completely, but we got caught in the rain. So it goes. Hello, Julie and Jeanne and Karen and Nancy and Mary and Linda and Kay and Sarah. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We are in our last week of school this week for our elementary and our middle school. Our high school has to go next week, Monday and Tuesday for exams, but everybody else is done on Friday. So it's kind of a crazy week today. Hello, Tammy and Linda. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, we have a lot to do today, right? So I have some cards to share with you, Happy Mail. I have some prizes to give away, including our creative challenge. And then I have two cards that I'm going to be making with you today as well. So let's start with the Happy Mail. I received this beautiful birthday card. I love this pinwheel technique. I've done that in the past. I haven't done that for a while. And this came to me from Nancy Hippis. Very, very cute card, Nancy. And this has some of that hot air balloon paper she used. And then I received this birthday card from Karen Roofing. This is that Seaside Wishes, which is a new stamp set and dies, a new bundle in the catalog. I haven't used it on here yet. I have used it for a card buffet, but I haven't made a card on here yet. Maybe next week. Actually, somebody just borrowed it because she needed a nautical card. So maybe not next week, maybe the week after. I think I'm going to do Father's Day next week. Then look at this cute birthday card with the zinnias from Debbie Peters. Absolutely gorgeous card. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for liking and sharing. And then this one also uses, I think this is from the Seaside Wishes as well. This is from Mary Van Domelen, and she gave me a beautiful hanging plant basket, as well as some gift cards to Texas Roadhouse, which I can't wait to use. So thank you, Mary, for the thank you. And then look at this beautiful card I got from my mom and dad for my birthday. I shared it with you because I loved how it had these little things, and then there was a card tucked into it. And I'm thinking I might try to do something with that with a stamp set that we have and die set. So I'll let you know if I pull it off. And then look at what I got from my Lila. Isn't that just the cutest? For those of you that know Lila, it looks just like her. And it was a birthday card from Lila. So thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks, Julie, for the birthday wishes. And Karen, my birthday was on Sunday. And I always joke that I'm 1 year closer to retirement. In fact, I brought a birthday treat on Friday, and that's what I put in the message to everybody that it was in the teacher's lounge. I'm like, help me celebrate that I'm 1 year closer to retirement. So I turned 56 this year. So we're getting there, less than 10 years. All right. So not that I don't like my job, but I'd love to do this full time if I could swing it, but I need the insurance and the steady income right now because I live alone. So thank you all for the Happy Mail. And now for some prizes. Before I give away the regular prizes, I'm going to read off all the names that I have for the creative challenge, just in case somebody's on here and I somehow missed you. I want to make sure that you let me know so I can get your name in. So I have Lynn Eben and Julie Grassel and Karen Roofing and Tammy Litsky and Linda Kester and Diane Van Grull. This one's upside down, so I can't read it. A couple of them are. Sandy Calloway and Aileen Humphrey and Debbie Peters, Mary Van Domelen, Marcia Cullibert, Anna Rebideau. A couple of them are upside down. Michelle Jones I saw on here, and Cheryl McClure, and Mary Linsmeyer I think I saw on here, and Jean Maxwell, and Amanda Shabo, and Becky Weisky, lots of you, Kathy Kessler, and Kelly Wildenberg. So thank you to all of you. Now, if you submitted one and I somehow missed you, because there were a lot of them, please let me know in the comments and I will go ahead and add you. But I'll give my other prizes away first. So this was our creative challenge. So it is a landscape card that when you open it, it turns, let me see if I can, there we go. Flip it that way so you can actually see the front. It turns to a portrait. And then we also did this joyful that was kind of a portrait instead of our normal landscape joyful. And we have a matching envelope for that. So receiving these for placing a comment. So anytime you comment here or on Facebook or either live or later on here, you get put into a drawing. And winning today was number 42. Lots of comments last time. Cindy Howard. And Cindy, I don't think I have your address. So if you are watching this either on the replay or live, if you could send me a private message either in Facebook or you could email it to me, createwithsarahllc@gmail.com. Then I will get that email or that address and I will get these off in the mail to you. And then for sharing, so anytime you share, a bunch of people have written down that they've shared already, whether it be on your Facebook page, you emailed somebody to say, hey, watch this video. However you share is fine with me. Receiving a pack of the Basic Gray and Smoky Slate. Now, I know I gave these away last week, but I didn't really give them away because the person whose name I chose was from Canada, and I can't send anything to Canada. So receiving these for sharing was number 18, and that is Denise Umloft. So Denise, I will get these out in the mail to you. And then for placing an order, oh my goodness, we have so many orders. And thank you all for your orders on that free shipping day. Holy cow, my phone kept beeping saying that I had more orders. And I was like, oh, good. I'm glad people are taking advantage of this. So receiving it was actually number 5 out of 9. And receiving You Are Beautiful, and we're actually going to use this stamp set today, is Kay Van Eperen. So Kay, I will get this off in the mail to you with your color club for June, because I almost have those cards done. I should finish them up tonight, and then I will bill all of you and get that out in the mail by the 1st of June, hopefully. All right. Did anybody else say that I missed them? Yes, Tammy, lots of participants. Okay. I don't think I did. So I'm not going to look. I'm just going to make sure I've got them all in the center here, that I didn't move one off to the side. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pick a name, and that name is Anna Revenue. So Anna, congratulations. You won the bundle of your choice. I think I have your email. I will go ahead. Ooh, somebody just got picked up in my neighborhood. There goes the cop. Okay. Anyway, I will email you, or you can email me and send me a message. Let me know what bundle you would like, and I will get that ordered and off in the mail to you. So thank you for all of you who participated. That's so awesome. And please make sure you go back to, if you are on Facebook, go to my Facebook page and check out the comments on that creative challenge post, because there are some pretty amazing cards on there that people have shared, some with new product, some with older product. All right, a couple of things I need to let you know about. This is the last week for that starter kit special. So if you've been on the fence going, I don't know, but you really want to get all of those pretty in colors, we're going to be using one of them again tonight. If you are interested in this at all, please let me know. I can give you more information, but basically for $99, you get the normal $125 of product that you can pick whatever you want from any catalog or online exclusives. And then you get a free $82 worth of stuff It's really one of the better deals that we have to join. And then you will enjoy at least a 20% discount on any product that you order after that. So as long as you are active. So there is no requirement to purchase things after that. You just get all of this stuff for $99 and free shipping and a free paper pumpkin. So it's kind of a great deal. The other thing that I wanted to let you know about is that I do have my used stamp sale coming up. I finally figured this out. And I've got to find, here we go. So at my house, before I bring all of my stuff to the larger stamp sale, will be next week, Wednesday, June 5th, from 5:30 until 7 o'clock. And if you need to know where my house is, send me an email or private message and I'll let you know what that is. But I will have any of the stuff. I've got everything that I have so much to label before then. And I have a bridal shower that I'm giving for my niece, helping to give for my niece on Sunday. So we have most of the stuff done for that. So there's not a ton of things that I have to do for that, but I have a lot to do for this sale. And then if Wednesday doesn't work for you and you're local, on Saturday, June 8th, in Sherwood, there is a larger sale. So there are a bunch of demonstrators who are part of that sale. And I think, see, some of them are on here tonight. They will be selling some of their stuff as well. And so there's more stuff to pick from. And that is on Saturday, June 8th in Sherwood, Wisconsin, from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. So I wanted to let you know about that so that if that's something that you're interested in, that you know when that is and where it is. And then the last thing that I just have is I did have to change my host code. I know somebody reached out to me over the weekend and they're like, your host code doesn't work. I only have 30 days with the host code. And all of a sudden I realized I was at 30 days and it was the free shipping day. So I'm like, I'm going to submit this. So this is the new host code that will be good for 30 days. And I will post it on my blog. I know I haven't been good at keeping up my blog. I have to pick and choose what I can keep up with. And that's one thing I haven't been able to keep up with. So I apologize for that, but at least I do post all of the dimensions in the video. So you can go back and watch the video. I'll try to post pictures of the cards along with the video that goes with them. So it's easier to find them, but I'm doing my best as doing this as a part-time business that's kind of become a full-time job, but I love it. So don't get me wrong. I do absolutely love it. So hello, Karen and Jeanne. Both of you, I think, are from, is it Oregon? So I'm glad that you could join me. Now, I want to just let you know that next week, I'm already going to have to change from Tuesday. I have something going on Tuesday that is really important to me, so I can't miss that. So right now, I'm looking at going on Monday night of next week because I have the shower on the weekend. It's going to be kind of crazy. I don't want to commit to Saturday, but I will. Monday, I will come on at 6 o'clock. And I should be done by like about 7 or usually 7:15. So I will make sure that you see it on my Facebook page. And if Monday's not a good night for you and Tuesday's better, you can always watch the replay on Tuesday when I'm doing my other stuff. So, all right, that is all that I have. I think we are ready to get stamping. So let me switch my cameras here. We'll go to this one and I'll turn my overhead light off so that we have less shadows. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit dark, it seems like tonight. Oh, maybe not. I think it'll be okay. All right, so I think I have less shadows. Yeah, I do. Okay, a couple of things for tonight. I'm going to switch to, I'll go ahead and get my dimensions. I wanted to feature in the first card that I'm making, a couple of things that I pointed out in the catalog a couple weeks ago. So first of all, on these basic card designs. So this first card that we're going to be doing, it's a very basic card. And I pointed out that they have the little inspiration gives you some layouts down here that you could possibly use. I used this one right here that I'm putting my finger over for my first card, But instead of doing it the way they have it here in portrait, all of these are portrait cards, all of them could be changed on their side. So we're going to make this card, but we're going to make it landscape. All right. And the other thing that I wanted to point out to you is this specialty paper that is called Frames and Flowers. It's $10. You get one sheet of each of these 3 designs that are two-sided. And then there are 3 sheets that you get that are different cutouts and frames and backgrounds and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I only have a little bit of one of the sheets left. So we're going to be using this paper. Isn't that pretty? This is this looks like eucalyptus on here along with some other greens. And then we just have, I believe that this is either Calypso Coral or Peach Pine. It might be both. Let's take a look. On the back of all of our designer paper, you can see the colors that are used in the paper. So we've got Early Espresso, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, Pumpkin Pie, Shaded Spruce, and Soft Seafoam. So that must be Petal Pink and Pumpkin Pie that are kind of together here. All right, so if I lift it over, some of these are coming out, but this is one of the designer papers, so we're going to use this. You have all these little punch out things that you can add to your card. So I'm going to keep this close because we're going to pull something out of there to use. You also have this designer paper. Pull this all out, which has that on the back. You have these background papers that you can use, and these just punch out. Okay, and then we have this paper that has that on the back. So very, very cool. $10 for this pack of paper. And there's so much stuff in here. Like a lot of these are things that you could, let me look here. So if you cut this, if I punch this one out or pull this one out, you could stamp something in the middle there and then just put it on your card, raise it up on Stampin' Dimensionals, add maybe a little bit of ribbon in the background, and you're ready to go. Same thing here. You could just stamp something right in the middle of there. So you don't have to, this is for the person who doesn't want to invest a lot in stamping, but wants to have some things to make some nice cards. So this is an example of things that you can use. This is kind of like that card that my mom and dad gave me. You could put this in a corner and you could tuck something in there. Kind of cool. All right, I'm going to keep this close by because we're going to pull it back to add an element to our card. So I'm going to be mixing this with the You Are Beautiful. Now there is a stamp set in here that I believe is like a peony. Yeah, it's a peony flower. And it has some greetings and stuff in that kind of goes with this. But I didn't get that stamp set yet. I did get this one. I loved this saying. I loved this big thing of kind of greenery that I thought kind of went along with the paper that we were using. All right, let me set this aside and we will get out our cardstock. So the card base that we're going to be using is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. I'm sorry, 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Sorry. Let me edit that real quick. Oh, I did these really quick when I got home from my walk and because I didn't have them done last night. Let me quickly type that in. 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and score at 4 1/4. I think I have the rest of them right. I think that was just because that was my card base. There we go. 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So it's just your standard card base. So this is going to be a stamp, ink, and paper. We're not going to be die cutting anything on this one. All right. And then I have a piece of that designer paper that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm making this a landscape card like I told you. I also have something for the inside that measures 4 by 5 1/4 as well. Again, really basic card. Then I'm going to have 3 strips of paper. And for mine, I chose to do them 3/4 of an inch wide by 4.5 inches long. So they're all 3 the same. And again, I'm trying to pull off that layout that I saw in that section of our catalog. Okay, I have a piece that is 2 inches by 4 inches. And then this is a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. And that's going to be for the inside of our card. All right, let me go ahead and hide all of that stuff. Let me go back to my comments. And let's go ahead and get stamping. So like I mentioned, I'm going to use that You Are Beautiful stamp set. Whoa. I have a stamp on the bottom of my bucket here. I was looking for that one too. It's from my painted lavender. It's this one right here. I used it for stamping all the envelopes for the bridal shower because we're using lavender as our color. And I was wondering what I did with it. Okay, we're going to stamp on here. We're going to stamp on here. And we are going to stamp on the envelope. So on this piece that measures 2 inches by, did I tell you this dimension? Did I give you that? I don't think I did. This is 2 inches by 4 inches. Okay, this white piece is 2 inches by 4 inches. I don't think I gave you that one. I think I jumped down to the designer paper. All right, on here, I'm going to stamp this beautiful saying, this scripture passage that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and he will direct your path. This is going to be like any kind of note card that you could send to someone. So I'm inking this up with Lost Lagoon. That's the color that I chose to pull out of here. I think that this looked like eucalyptus that was on there. And I always think of Lost Lagoon when I think of eucalyptus. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this on here. Okay, I did a pretty darn good job, I think. All right. And then on my inside layer, we're going to put this strip that's a 1/2 inch instead of 3/4 of an inch. We're going to put that along the bottom. And because this is just kind of a note card, you don't have to put anything on the inside. But I loved this saying to be sent to a woman because how often do we need to hear, you are beautiful, right? We're always so hard on ourselves as women. And so I thought that was a really beautiful saying to put on the inside. Now, we had this big greenery piece, and I'm going to use that for the envelope. And I'm going to decide, what do you think we should do? Do you want me to just put a big one along the side here, or should I put a bunch of them along the flap? Or should I do both? So front, back, or both is your vote. And I'm going to start putting this together while you vote on that. And then I'll come back and decorate my envelope afterwards. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to attach. I'm going to actually bring my bone folder. I don't see a bone folder here. What did I do with my bone folder? I don't even have one at my other station. Okay, I'm just going to use my finger and try to give this a better burnish. I'm going to attach this, make sure I have it going in the right direction. And I'm just going to attach that. Whoops, that one's almost empty. This one's almost empty too. I might have to use glue tonight. There's a little bit in there. And I'm just going to add that to the outside. And then these are going to go in here like this. And I felt I needed to raise them up so that they didn't get lost in the pattern that's there on the background. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to raise those up on some dimensionals. So I'm going to just flip these over. And we're just going to pop some dimensionals. Ooh, I have a new pack. I forgot that I replaced that yesterday. I hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. I don't know what the weather was like by you, but here it was absolutely gorgeous on Saturday. Couldn't have asked for a better day. The sun was shining. It wasn't too hot. We were able to go out on the boat and we were able to sit outside. I got a little sunburned because I didn't feel like I was getting hot because it was so nice. And then Sunday, it rained all day. Like, just looked outside and watched it rain. And it rained like about an inch at least. I think in some places they said it was over an inch of rain. I think in some places they said actually it was close to 3 inches of rain. So it was not a very nice day on Sunday, which was my actual birthday. But we watched the Brewers lose. And then my dad made some of his awesome cheeseburgers. We had it was a very relaxing. I was able to kind of catch up on some things and just so that this week doesn't have to be as crazy. All right, so we're going to go ahead. Whoops. Put that there. And then we've got one more. I just liked how this looked popped up. I thought if I put it right down onto it, it was going to maybe get lost a little bit because that is a somewhat busy pattern. So instead, I said, let's pop those babies up just like that. Okay, and then our greeting is going to go in here. And I didn't feel I needed to pop that up anymore. So I'm just going to take some glue and I'm going to run it on the bottom of this layer. And I can do the entire middle of this one and just the top of that one. So this is a quick and easy layout. You don't have to use designer paper as your background like I did here. You don't have to use designer paper here either. You could use, oops, I gotta straighten this out a little bit here. You could emboss something on the background. You could use plain paper and then use a more of a design pattern here. It's entirely up to you how you want to do this. So that's what we're going to do with that. I'm going to attach this little strip along the bottom. And you could really pick whichever side you wanted to use. I'm going to go ahead and use this floral pattern. Kind of looks like little pieces of that eucalyptus there. Yeah, thanks, Tammy. Yeah, I loved that, the layouts. There's a couple of them that I've used already from that section of the catalog. I just love the fact that they gave you some quick and simple layouts that you can do. It doesn't always have to be a fun fold, but you can easily take a layout and make a card look beautiful with the layout. Now, let's come in here and let's look at what we have. I think I like this right here. I think I like this one actually. We'll just pop that right on there like that. Kind of like how that looks just along the side there. Let's see if we have something a little bit smaller. Just going to bring these in here. That one's bigger. I think that's going to be the one that I want. I think that's it. These are smaller, but I think I like how that one looks that I pulled off. Okay, so every card can look just a little bit different based on what you pick. We could actually, why don't we go like this? I think I like that better. We'll put it on that side like that. So we'll just go ahead and add some liquid glue. So I didn't have to stamp anything and try to color all of this, but yet the images that are on there are so pretty and you could add them to anywhere on a card. It just adds so much. And then let's take some Wink of Stella and let's go over that with some Wink of Stella to add just a little bit of glimmer to this. Okay, so I don't know if you can see a little bit of that glimmer. You can kind of see. Do you see that sparkle just a little bit? And then to add just a little more sparkle, these are becoming my favorite. Look at these beautiful iridescent faceted gems. Did we use, I think we used these on the centers of our dragonfly last week. And I'm just going to place a couple of these. There's a little one. Let's see, let's go here on that one. And then we can put one up there. And another one maybe over here. Okay, so we've got a couple of those gems just to add a little something to our card. And I actually think I'm going to put a big one down here. And we'll just put a couple of little ones together like that. Right? Maybe I'll even put it as the center of this flower. And then let's go like this. I didn't know where I was going to put these. I just really like them. There we go. So I put one as the center of the flower and then those two over in this opposite corner of that. All right, let's see what we have here. Front, 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 back. And that was it. Mano got 2.5 inches, Betty. Yeah, I know. We were in Wapaka and it rained and rained and rained and rained. I'm like, oh, and it came down heavy at times. Okay, let's go ahead and do our envelope then. So it looks like the front is what won. So we can go ahead and ink up this image. And we'll just go ahead and stamp that along the front of our envelope. We'll let it marinate a little bit. All right, so there is our envelope that matches with our card. Really simple, quick, easy, but gorgeous, right? Like, who wouldn't want to get this as a little note card sent to them with just a nice little greeting? And you can kind of see there's a little bit of raising up those strips of paper. Didn't need a die cutting machine for this at all. And I have lots and lots of things left that I can add to other cards. So there's a lot of die cuts that are still left that I can use from that pack of paper. All right, so that's our card number 1. This is my sample. I had used one of those that was a little bit smaller and put it on the right-hand side, but it looks pretty similar. Okay, so that's card number 1 using the You Are Beautiful stamp set, along with the, I don't even remember what it's called, Frames and Flowers Designer Series paper. All right, let me get this out of here. I have to grab something that I'm going to need for the next card. All right, our next card. People often ask when Stampin' Up! Retires a catalog. So they didn't retire Hot Air Balloon. They kept it, which is great. However, they got rid of the paper. So what good is the stamp set if they got rid of the paper? And some people might say, well, I have some of the paper left and I don't get rid of the paper. But I always look for ways that I can use new stamp sets with some of our old ones. And one of the stamp sets from this new from our new catalog that's new this year that I felt went really well with this is our Fields in Bloom. Did you miss this in the catalog? I did the first time. I couldn't figure out what in the heck it was. So here's where it is in the catalog. Let me show you. It's right here, this stamp set. So it has your greens are here. You fill in with your flowers in this one. And then this is a smaller flower that has greens and you can fill the flowers in with that. It has clouds and a little bird. And I looked over at this going, what is that? Is it like all broken up? Like I couldn't get, and then I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So here they stamped it, which is what we're going to do. We're going to stamp it, but then they cut it out into a circle. And I'm like, oh, that's how that works. I was a little confused, right? From the way the stamp looked, I thought that was all like one stamp and it was a bunch of clumps, but that's not what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at a stamp or card that's made combining these two stamp sets, an old one and a new one. And we're going to put them together. All right. Here we go. You're going to get to vote on this too. So I'm going to give you a chance to do some voting. So let's start with our card base. See if I have this right this time. I think I do. 4 1/4 by 11. And I scored at 5 1/2. And this is the new in color, Pretty in Pink. Not really the new in color. It is the returning in color, Pretty in Pink, which doesn't happen very often. They usually don't return in colors unless they return them so that they're in our Stampin' Up! Regular families of colors. All right, then we have 2 basic white that measure 3 3/4 by 5 inches. One's going to be for the inside and one's going to be for the outside. And then I'm going to layer it onto 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch. So only 1/16 of an inch shows up all the way around. So I didn't want to put a ton of black, but I love how black kind of pops when you're putting it onto something like a pink. Doesn't that pop? Doesn't it look much nicer than just putting the white on like that? So that is basic black. I cut out 2 labels for us. Here's the white one. So this is coming from our Unbounded Love. So there are 2 circles in there. And I cut the biggest one out with that Pretty in Pink. Oops, I'll put that over here so you can see it. And then I cut the smallest one out with just the basic white for a little greeting that we're going to add on the front. And I believe that is it. Yes, so I can go to my comments now. Well, let me take that off first. Hide and go to my comments. Okay. Whew. All right, here's what you're going to vote on. We are going to do a hot air balloon, and you are going to decide what colors you want. So our flowers are going to be Pretty in Pink and Granny Apple Green. Okay, so these are the colors that I'm going to be using to make my flower arrangement. Now, we can use Pretty in Pink, and we could put it with like fresh freesia and make a 2-toned hot air balloon out of that. I've already done fresh freesia and balmy blue. And I've already done fresh freesia and lemon lolly, or balmy blue and lemon lolly. So our combinations that you get to vote on, Pretty in Pink along with the fresh freesia, so pink and purple. Or do you want fresh freesia and balmy blue, fresh freesia and lemon lolly, or balmy blue and lemon lolly? Make your pick. I'm going to go ahead while you are voting on that. I did cut one of these out, and we're going to attempt to stamp on the cut out image. Yeah, right. We can do it. Ooh, I don't know where here's my little basket. I don't want to lose that. I did stamp and crumb cake the little basket, and I cut that out already for us. All right, what I did with the stamps, the 2 big stamps, I put them, we no longer have stamping, our stamping positioner. So, and I don't know for certain why they did away with our Stamparatus. I think it has something to do that Misty came out with these first, and then Stampin' Up! Came out with theirs afterwards. Now, there were different things about the Stampin' Up! One that I really liked, but I don't know if there were copyright I have no idea. But the fact that we don't have ours anymore, I went back to my Misty because that's the one that I ended up having first. And you can still purchase these. They have a smaller one and they have a bigger one. And so I went ahead and I set my Misty up so that when I put my piece of paper in here, I'm going to line the right side up for my greenery at the 1-inch side. And I am going to stamp up the green. So this is 2-step stamping. So I'm inking up the greens. Now you could put this on a regular block. You would have to have one of the bigger blocks to do this. But I'm inking this up in Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to give that a good press. I do have a little air hockey puck thing that I use, but this actually, my ink pads are really juicy right now, so it'll look good. So that's the greenery, which looks kind of weird right now, right? Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to line the right side up at 5. I think that's where I have to line it up. Let me look. Yes. No, I think it's 1. I think I lined the right side up with 1. Sorry. Depends on how you set yours up. That's how I set mine up. Okay, I'm going to go this way just a tad. Yep, like that. And I'm going to use Pretty in Pink for that. Fresh purple and pink, fresh Frisian lemon lolly, blue and purple, pink and purple, pink and purple. Okay, so it looks like pink and purple. So if you have a choice that's different than that, make sure you get your vote in, because right now it's purple and pink. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this. So if you put this on a regular stamping block, you would just line this up. Mine looks like it's off just a little bit. I think I moved it just a tad. See how these are off just a little bit, but you can't tell that much on it. It still looks like a field of flowers, right? Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cloud and I'm going to use Balmy Blue, but my Balmy Blue is really, really inky right now. It's really dark. And so I am going to stamp off once and then stamp those clouds. And then stamp off 1 and add the clouds and stamp off again and add some clouds. So I'm adding some clouds to the sky along with my flowers that are down here. All right, now pink and purple, blue and purple, pink. I think we're still at pink and purple. So we are going to, let's see, take our purple and we'll grab our, I'm going to put this on a piece of darker paper so that I can actually see it. If you put white on white, it's harder to see it. So this balloon set has 2 parts. So there's one that has 4 different strips. I'm going to close this blue up because we're not going to do that. Ooh, I got a yellow and purple. Pink and purple. Yellow and purple. Okay. I've got 2 yellow and purples, 3 pink and purple. So I think I'm going to keep with pink and purple. All right. Oops, I don't want to get this in there. I'm going to try to line this up as best I can. Again, I'm looking over a camera, so there's our purple. And then our pink. I feel like I've got blue in there. Oh, I did. Good thing I saw that. Let's go ahead and clean that off. Must have hit up with my cloud somewhere. I got to clean my pad afterwards. I'll show you what to do to clean that off. Okay, so there is our balloon. And we've got our little basket here. Now, if that happens to you, whoops, I didn't mean to hit my camera. If that happens to you, so you can see that I have a little bit of that blue ink in my pink pad. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a baby wipe and I'm going to, so if this happens, you accidentally put something in there or you get something in there, I'm just going to wipe that out like that. Then I'm going to take my re-inker, which I'll do that in a little bit. I'm going to put some drops of re-inker and then take a spoon and spread them out, to get it into the worked into the pad. But that's how you can get something like that out. Okay, let's see. I want to put some clouds on my inside layer. So we'll go ahead and stamp off. Okay, and then I'm going to put happy birthday on the inside. And I'm going to do that in black. That's where my black layer came from. My greetings are all going to be in black. And so that is why I chose black as my, okay, I'm going to just kind of put it in there with the clouds. All right, in my circle, I'm going to use the Wish Big that was in that hot air balloon, but notice that doesn't fit on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to cover the big and I'm going to try to just stamp the wish, but in case I get on the big, I got it covered. Whoops, it doesn't look like I got all of the H though. Let me put this back on here, make sure I get all of the H. There we go, that's better. Remove your tape. And I'm going to put the wish on the top. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and clean this. Hopefully this works because when I did it, I cut it out after I stamped it. So I'm hoping that I can get it stamped on there. Doesn't look like I saved myself a lot of room, but we will do our best. Wish and big. Take our tape off. Let's throw that away. Okay, so we've got our wish big, and it's okay that it's a little bit lopsided like that because we're going to add a little bow on there and it'll make everything look okay. Right, this is going to get layered onto our pink. Okay, I probably should have put the wish up a little higher. That's what I did on the one that I made beforehand. I'm going to show you another card that doesn't have the balloon on it with this set as well. But when I saw this set, I thought, oh, this is what it would look like from the if you're going on a hot air balloon. Going on a hot air balloon, I think was on my dad's bucket list at one point, and somehow my brothers knew that. And so for Christmas one year, they gave my mom and dad, they paid for them to go up in a hot air balloon. So we all got to go and watch them go up in this hot air balloon. And we drove around to different locations where we were going to be able to see them. But this is what I kind of picture, like when you're looking from the top, kind of like when you're looking down from an airplane. But you're not as far, I mean, you're a lot closer to the ground, just being able to see the fields of flowers and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to our black layer. See how that just pops? Just love how that pops up. We're going to go ahead and attach this with some dimensionals. And we're going to put this on dimensionals. And we're going to put this on a dimensional. Okay, and we're going to put this all together. So I'm going to take the balloon. I'm going to put the balloon a little bit off centered, a little bit to the right, and I'm going to put the greeting on my left hand side. It's just how I did it. You could choose to do it however you want. So here's center, and I just went a little bit right of center. And then we can put our little basket. Underneath there. And then our greeting. Put over here. And we'll add just a little bit. This is our Essentials Baker's Twine. Comes in 5 colors. So there's basic white, basic black, berry vanilla, crumb cake, smoky slate. Is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. I have to say that I use the black and the white probably the most. But let's see if I can get this untangled here. Probably should have wrapped this around my bow maker. Let's see if I can get it. Take your pick tool and see if I can get this untwisted. There we go. And I think if I put my glue dot down there, I can untangle it and then attach it to the glue dot. So I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to roll it. I'm going to set it kind of in the corner here. There's a little bit of opening there. I'm going to untangle this and then push that knot in there while it's untangled. And I may have to. There we go. We're going to trim this up a little. I'd have to move it a little because I'm covering up my word big. Goodness gracious, it does not want to untangle today. There we go. Push that into the glue when it's untangled. Pull that down. There we go. All right, and then that is going to go. Thanks, Tammy. Yeah, I loved how those flowers looked. I was not sure what to expect. And then I saw a couple of cards where people had used it. And I'm like, oh, that looks really cool how those flowers are. And all of a sudden I was just like, I think the hot air balloon would look kind of cool on there. You know what? I'm going to change my mind on this. I'm going to move my glue dot because I made my wish a little bit lower than it was on the one. I'll show you the one that I did as my sample. And you can see, I'm going to go ahead and put this here instead and just let those kind of hang out like that. I think I like how that looks better instead of doing it on the side. Okay, so wish big. We'll trim these up a little bit. And it just needed a little bit of something, and I didn't know what I wanted to put because I didn't want to start putting things in the center of the flowers. So I took out our birds and dragonfly and birds. And I love these little birds. So I decided it just needed a couple of these in between some of the clouds. And so I just set a few of those around. And there we have our fun old in with the new. And then on the inside, we've got our happy birthday. All right, what are we going to do on the outside? Let's see. Do you think we should? I might just stamp the balloon again. Let's stamp our balloon again. So we've got, this is our purple color. We'll do it on the front as well. And then we have our pink is the smaller one. Trying to see over the camera. Looks pretty good. And then we'll do our little basket in crumb cake. And here's our little basket. All right, so we've got a card all set to go that uses one of our old stamp sets and our new stamp sets. Okay, so there is the card that I did tonight. Here is one that we did for my card club. We used the same colors, but instead of using the hot air balloon, I used Pool Party at full strength instead of Balmy Blue at half strength. And then we did the happy birthday on the outside and used 2 ribbons. So I used the pretty and pink ribbon along with the black baker's twine. And then on the inside, we just used a little flower image along with the Enjoy Today. So I wanted to do something a little bit different because the ladies in my stamp club already made this card. So I wanted to show a different card using that same stamp set. You could use any color you wanted to for the flowers. So I did stamp, and I don't know if I have it here. I did stamp it with Shy Shamrock. Let me look and see if I can find it anywhere. Shy Shamrock and Petunia Pop. But I don't see what I did with it. It's not handy. I felt like I wanted something with a little bit more pastels instead of that pop. And so I ended up changing it. But, and I did, when I picked my color, I also did Fresh Freesia and the Pretty in Pink. That was what I picked. So here is one of our cards that we made tonight, combining an old with a new. And then the first card that we made was our stamp ink and paper using one of the layouts from the catalog that they highlight at the beginning of the catalog, as well as one of those, here are some cutout things for you. We've got the ephemera packs as well that are similar to that. Don't know where I put mine. Isn't that terrible? I haven't used them yet, but I'm not sure where I put them. Oh, here they are. I thought that's where they were, but I wanted to double check. So our ephemera packs are a whole bunch of different greetings that you can cut out and use on cards. Has hot air balloons, fish, ice cream cones. This one also has some dogs and things like that. So it's similar to that designer paper that I bought. You've got your fish, butterflies. So you can just add these to cards to get 2 sheets of each one. So look at, there's that little birthday dog and a rainbow and balloons. There's all kinds of different things that you can add to cards. And then you can also, this is for the person who doesn't want to invest a lot of money in stamping, but you love seeing what I'm doing. And you're like, oh, I'd love to have some of those on hand that I could just like add some tape to something and put some things together. So these are some card bases. So you don't have to get the designer paper. It already has the designer stuff on there. And then it has an envelope that matches. And you can take a greeting from one of these, put that on here along with some of those other images. There's also a floral pattern, which I don't have here. But you can easily put a card together just like I did with this one tonight. Just kind of mixing and matching things. So wanted to just point that out. So if you're a person, I know I saw my Aunt Dorothy. I don't know if she's on here tonight, but I saw her over the weekend and she said, I love watching you, but I just don't have the room and I don't want to take the time to invest in a whole hobby. But she said that with her parish, they had like a card making thing where they could come and make cards. And the woman said to her, you're really, really good at this. And she said, well, I watch my niece on TV all the time. And so I've learned some things from her, but I don't want to invest in it. So this is a way that you wouldn't have to do as much of an investment. You could get a few things and still make a pretty card. All right, I'm going to go ahead, turn my light back on so that I can come back to you. Here we go. Here I am, still with my curly hair. All right. So thank you so much for joining me tonight on my first Tuesday. And I'm sorry I have to change it again already next week to Monday, but I will be live on Monday night, 6 o'clock. And I will have, I think I'm going to feature some masculine cards because I know Father's Day is coming up. I know there are probably some summer birthdays. We have that new Take It to the Air, I think it's called. It's the airplane set, which I think is awesome because I have a nephew that's in aerospace engineering. And so he's got his pilot license and stuff. So I'm thinking that'll be fun for him. But then we also have our fishing. We have our trusty tools. We don't have the designer paper anymore, but maybe I'll do a card with the trusty tools without the designer paper so you can see how you can use it without that. So Debbie said masculine cards would be great, right? We all struggle with masculine cards because we all have a million floral papers and stuff like that. But then to have to come up with that masculine card can sometimes be hard. So I will focus on masculine cards for next week, Monday. And again, if Monday doesn't work for you, you can always come back and watch the replay. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all of you who participated in the Creative Challenge. Congratulations to Anna. I will go ahead and I will get either an email off to you or send a message to you, or if you watch this, send a message to me as to which of the bundles you want me to order for you. So thanks so much for joining me tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your week. It's a short one, right? I love that. Plus I'm taking Friday off to help plan for the shower. So it's a really short 3-day week for me. So have a great week and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.